Hey, I'm Tom, and I want to welcome you to my new channel, In the Friction Zone. This is my 2018 CVO Road Glide. I purchased this in January of 2018. I actually had to hunt for one because the 2018 CVOs were rather popular. For the Road Glide that year, they did the Battleship Gray with the three-dimensional emblem on it, which was rather popular. I really preferred the black, and I liked the Harley logo on the fairing. I thought that was nice to have no logo on the tank at all, which is pretty unique for Harley. It was also the first year we saw a 21-inch front wheel on a bagger from the factory and a 117 cubic engine from the factory. So CVOs are something I've always admired and always dreamed about what it would be like to own one. I bought my first Harley in 1999. I've always been loyal to Harley and a big fan of them even when I was small. Many influences in my life around Harley Davidson. But when I saw this bike come out, I said, this is significant, right? It's a significant change, gorgeous bikes. And I said, I wonder if there's a way I could obtain one. So I managed to sell two Harleys that I owned at the time and a little additional cash and hunted the country for one, and I managed to find this one. And I did not regret this experience or this purchase. It's been an excellent bike. I only had one issue with it. The one morning the headlight would not come on. The running light, the DRL, came on, but no other bulbs. But it was early on, and Harley was gracious enough to replace it under warranty for me. Had no issues since. Really kept the bike stock. I just couldn't bring myself to change much on a CVO. And frankly, that was part of my drive to get one. Is I was like, I want to buy a bike that's done. You know, I've been all my Harleys. You end up customizing and buying the parts and installing. And I was just kind of ready to own one that was already done, that looked great. And so I've really enjoyed it as is. The bike's been outstanding, but I knew this year, 2023, was Harley Davidson's 120th anniversary. And I kind of suspected this model had been really unchanged for a while, and I wondered if we'd see some significant changes in the 2023 year for their big birthday. And so I went down to my dealer in October of 2022, and I said, hey, can I get on a list? And sure enough, they were happy to take a deposit from me and put me on a list. It turns out I was actually number 2 in line. There was somebody already ahead of me trying to get a CVO, but they were after a street glide. So I'm the first in line for a road glide at my local dealer. And I patiently waited. I couldn't wait for Harley Davidson's big announcement of their 120th anniversary bikes. I took that day off so I could watch the video, and to my surprise, no CVO Road Glide. Instead, we got a CVO Road Glide Limited, and really the only change on it was paint. Gorgeous bike, $51,000, but no significant change. And I was really saying back in my head, Harley, you're missing it still. You're really missing what we're looking for from you. So I decided maybe I should go get my deposit. But then Brad Richards in the video goes, hey, more CVOs are coming. So I kept my place in line. And then one day we get a couple of photos, apparently taken by a rogue employee with a phone passing by a bike on the assembly line. And when I saw that fairing for the Road Glide, I said, oh no. The thing was hideous. I'm like, Harley, you are in the wrong direction here, right? What an ugly fairing. But there were a couple other photos, and we noticed that there's inverted front end, 121 cubic engine, and a lot of the folks that were studying those initial pictures were correct, variable valve timing. I don't think variable valve timing is going to add anything to performance, but will it change the sound of the motor? That's a little concerning. Will it be ticky like the twin cam, which we got used to, or will it sound more like a sewing machine like the Milwaukee 8? Well, time will tell. But when those photos came out, I said, yeah, I'll keep my place in line. A little bit later, real recently, in fact, we got another photo, this time of the Street Glide, and much cleaned up in a lot more detail. Apparently from a filing in Australia where Harley had to submit a picture of what they'd be selling in Australia. And then a credible source picks that up and shares it out to the internet community. And now we had some more details. A lot of suspicion that we're going to see a monoshock. That photo shows an adjustment knob on the lower side, and there's no evidence of any dual shocks in the back. So a good suspicion that it's going to be a monoshock. But then we got an announcement from Harley that made it real. Whether Harley was pressured to do it early or they were right on their marketing schedule, we get a video clip of Brad Richards looking at a wall of designs, and then there's been some folks who've blown those up to try to see what was on the board he was looking at. And then we get a picture of the two bikes being ridden in the dark. So confirmed the running lights and the lights in the front, no turn signals externally. We didn't get to see the turn signals come on, so there's still suspension, or what is that turn signal going to do when you push the button? Is it just going to blink, or are we going to get sequential? I think a lot of people are hoping for that, but we didn't get that revealed in that video. And then the last video we just got shows the top of the bike, and it shows the cluster, the gauge cluster up front, which the previous photos indicated was going to be a screen, no gauges, and sure enough, all screen, no gauges. And I must admit at first, I'm not sure how I feel about that. You know, part of riding a Harley Davidson is that nostalgic experience. And I think part of that is the classic gauges that, as you know, in the car world are quickly dying. Well, Harley's opted to join them and let go of the gauges. I will say that the resolution looks really good on the screen. Now, who knows how it will do with the sun shining on it. And I don't know, will I miss the gauges or will I be okay with it? But I'm going to keep an open mind. So I still have my place in line, and I should be one of the first to get a CVO Road Glide 2023. And my whole idea of this channel was to share that experience with you. So I think I've been around Harleys for a long time, a lot of my life, ridden several models, if not a majority of them I've ridden at least once, including the Livewire, which, by the way, is an amazing bike. I know if you're like me, there's nothing beats the motor that we look at here, but an electric bike is not a bad thing to ride either. So there's hope. But anyway, I've kept my place in line. My intention is to share the whole purchasing experience with you. First impressions riding that bike, and then my journey with it. Will we end up in a long list of recalls? Will we have bugs with it? I don't know, but I will share it with you. So I welcome you to the channel. I encourage you to subscribe and join me through this journey. And next time, I'll see you in the friction zone next time. See ya.